Ever feel like your patience is, I don't know, stretched kind of thin, like a rubber band about to snap?
Oh, tell me about it.
Especially in relationships, am I right?
100%.
It's like everyone wants that secret, like, patience potion, right?
Okay.
To make things smooth sailing with our partners.
Yeah, that magic formula.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, get this. Today we're diving deep into count 'em, five practical tips to cultivate some serious patience, especially with our partners.
Because it's not about fixing someone, right?
No, not at all.
It's about kind of like adding the superpower to your relationship toolbox.
Love that. A superpower. So we're not trying to change anyone, just upping our own game.
Exactly. It's about approaching those relationship hiccups with more, understanding and a willingness to work through them together.
Okay, so first up, it's a classic for a reason. Step into your partner's shoes.
Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes those shoes, they feel miles too big or way too small. Any advice for actually pulling that off?
Yeah, I hear you. It's definitely easier said than done. I think that's where empathy comes in.
Okay, empathy.
It's kind of the foundation, like when you actually try, really try, to see things from their side of the story,
Hmm.
you're not just like understanding them better, you're also kind of challenging your own assumptions. And that automatically dials down the defensiveness.
Makes
It
sense.
really opens up the space to actually connect.
So instead of just immediately getting frustrated, like when your partner's running late again,
Oh, I've been there. We've all been there.
right?
Instead of being like, you're always late, try shifting it. Say something like, hey, I know things were rushed, but being stressed about the wait made me realize how much this event means to me. You're getting your feelings out there, but you're not like pointing fingers.
Oh, that's a good one. I like
Okay.
that. It's like, this is how I feel instead of you did this wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, tip number 2. This one sounds almost too easy.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Yes.
But I'm guessing it's not just about sighing dramatically at them, right?
Definitely not. Although, I mean, a little dramatic sigh never hurt anyone, right?
True. Okay.
No, but seriously, there's actually a lot of like science behind the whole deep breathing thing. It's like hitting the reset button on your system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it specifically targets this thing called the vagus nerve, which basically controls a lot of our like emotional responses.
Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah. So taking those deep breaths, it creates this like pause. A pause between, feeling that trigger and then boom, reacting.
So it's almost like a mindfulness thing then. For
Exactly.
those of us like myself who might be new to this whole mindfulness idea, could you like break that down a little?
Yeah, for sure. Mindfulness is all about kind of being present in the moment, like
Wow.
being aware of your thoughts, your feelings, but without any judgment.
No judgment.
Yeah, just noticing. So it's like you're hitting the pause button on autopilot and you get to choose how you want to respond instead of just like reacting.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
So instead of flying off the handle, you're like, hold on, let me think about this for a second.
Exactly. And you know what's really cool? You can actually build mindfulness into your relationship, like create a breath code together.
A breath code. What's that?
So it could be anything you both agree on. A simple word, a gesture, whatever works. And it just means, okay, let's take a breath and like regroup for a sec.
I love that. Okay. Moving on to tip number 3. This one seems like it might tie into the whole deep breathing thing. Communicate calmly.
Oh, absolutely. It's all connected. Because you know what? When our emotions are high, that's when we tend to communicate the least effectively.
Oh, for sure. Like, ever try having a rational conversation when you're fuming mad? Impossible.
Exactly. So when you're calm, you can choose your words more carefully. And it lets you speak to your partner, not at them.
Big difference.
Huge.
So
Yeah.
instead of, what is it? Something like,
Yeah, like instead of blurting out, you never listen.
yes, that's the one.
You could try saying, I feel unheard when. You see the difference. One is an invitation to talk. The other
Well,
one.
shuts down the conversation before it even starts.
Exactly. So which would you rather have?
I think the answer is pretty clear there.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Now, this one might be a little trickier, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, which one is that?
Giving each other space.
Yes. Space. Sometimes we need a little breathing room. Yeah.
Really. But it's not always easy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the most important thing to remember is that space isn't a punishment. It's not about like the silent treatment or anything like that.
Get you clarify.
It's about recognizing that everyone processes their emotions differently, right?
That's true. I know some people who need to, like, go for a run when they're upset.
Right. And others need to like curl up with a good book. Some people need a few minutes to cool down. Some people need hours, maybe even a day. It's all about figuring out what works for you, both as individuals and as a couple.
So it's all about communication then, making sure you're on the same page about what space actually means.
100%. Like, talk about it. What does space look like for you? Does it mean going for a walk, having some alone time in another room, or maybe just agreeing to come back to the conversation later when things have cooled down a bit?
I like that. So you're both clear on what the other person needs, no assumptions, no hurt feelings. Okay, last tip. This is where the real magic happens, in my opinion. It's not just about surviving the little day-to-day annoyances. It's about. It's about remembering why we're even in this relationship to begin with, wouldn't you say?
100%. You hit the nail on the head. Because patience isn't just about, like, enduring, it's about investing in something.
Investing. I like that.
You're investing in the long game of your relationship.
It's playing strategic, not just reacting.
Exactly. So ask yourself, what are we working towards? What are we building together? And how does practicing patience help us get there?
So it's almost like taking a step back, looking at the bigger picture, the bigger why behind it all. Wow. So if we're both, actively trying these tips, putting in the effort,
Yeah.
what kind of transformation are we really talking about? What does a relationship powered by patience? What does that even look like in practice?
Imagine this. You and your partner, disagreements happen,
Of
obviously.
course, they're inevitable.
But instead of them turning into huge blowouts, they become opportunities for growth,
Okay.
where understanding runs deeper than just saying, I'm sorry. That's the power of patience. It's not about, like, snapping your fingers and becoming perfectly patient overnight.
Right. It's a process.
It is. It's about all those small, consistent efforts that we make, And those efforts, they create this ripple effect. They transform not just the relationship, but also how you face any challenges that life throws your way together.
Wow. When you put it like that, it really does sound like a superpower.
It is. And the best part is, it's a superpower we all have within us.
Well said. I like that. All right, everyone. There you have it. 5 practical and I got to say, pretty powerful tips to cultivate more patience in your relationships.
And remember, it's a journey, not a race.
So be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. And as always, thanks for diving deep with us.
Until next time.